Hi, my name is Merci Miglino, and today I have the pleasure of being with Joelle Lydon. Did I get that right, Joelle?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. I always want to be careful. You know, having a name like Merci means you got to be careful. So anyway, Joelle Lydon is my guest, and she happens to live pretty close to me, so I've actually had the pleasure of meeting Joelle. Joelle agreed to talk to us a little bit about a day in the life of her life, which is now a life coach. So tell me, first and foremost, how did you find coaching, or did it find you?
It found me. There is no doubt. I had gone away on a sort of teacher retreat, and they had invited a speaker who had called herself a life coach, and she talked about what she did, and I remember having this feeling in my body, like this sort of flutter in my heart. Like, wow, this is really cool. I don't totally get it, but it feels like it's connected to me.
Yeah.
And so years later, I actually sought you out for some coaching locally. Yes. So we had a little bit of a relationship, which allowed me to then experience coaching firsthand and see how incredible it was. And then I remember back in 2007, starting to say to everybody, I'm going to be a life coach. I'm going to be a life coach. I have like no clue how this was going to happen, but I'm just going to be a life coach. It's going to happen. Cool. And so here it is, 2012, and I am. So the journey began a long, long time ago, but absolutely it found me.
Yeah. Wow. It's a beautiful story. And I love when things find me. It's so much less effort than when I try to go seeking things out. So you were a student, you graduated, and one of the things we teach our students is, what the coaching tools are. And we have our students create power tools. Well, power tools, of course, are a quick and agile way to help shift perspective. So I'm wondering, first and foremost, what is in your coaching toolbox? Tell me about your power tool.
Well, I had to kind of look that up.
Yeah.
Because, since I actually created it, I think it's shifted a little bit. But the power tool that I used was looking at the somatics of coaching, because I come from a dance background.
Right.
So looking at the idea that people tend to get stuck in their head quite a bit. So the coaching tool that I put together was entitled Thinking Mind, Feeling Body. Actually, it was reversed. It was thinking body. And the reason that I put that together was because people tend to get in their heads. And I felt like it was what kept them stuck. It's what has kept me stuck. It's certainly something that I think we all continue to struggle with. And we have this amazing resource of our body that is our factory installed GPS. So if we tune into it, we have the ability to make decisions in our lives and our body can tell us whether we're actually in alignment with those decisions or not in alignment with those decisions, whether something feels expansive or contracting.
Yeah.
And so that is the tool that I use a lot with my clients, because I tend to be, because of my dance background, much more somatic.
Yeah.
And so I tend to trust the wisdom of the body, because we can lie to ourselves with all kinds of, I call it BS, beliefs.
Yes, I think everyone knows what BS means.
So they're BS. We tend to lie to ourselves, but our bodies never, ever lie. We can always trust that it will tell us the truth. And when we're doing all of this lying up here, and we're ignoring the wisdom of our body begins to break down. Wow. So I think the tool was really based on the idea that if we can begin to relearn to do that trusting and to really, give ourselves an opportunity to tune into that natural, inborn GPS, then our lives are so much easier to live.
It's so true. I mean, I think it was Martha Graham, that really famous dancer, said the body never lies. And certainly there's more than one way to shift a perspective. Sometimes you go to the body first. So that's really very interesting. And did this show up in your coaching model, your history of dance? And because I know, I mean, I have to tell people this. On your website, you call yourself an eternal optimist, a personal growth addict, and a Nia fanatic. And Nia is a form of dance, or like a little blend of a couple of different techniques. So did that show up in your coaching model? Tell us a little bit like how if the model is the bicycle, some people say, what's the coaching model? The model is the bicycle. How you ride that bicycle is your process. So tell me a little bit about what your coaching model is and how it helps your clients.
Strangely, it did not involve the body.
Oh.
I was inspired by, and I can't even recall where I got this image, but it was inspired by the water hyacinth, which is a type of plant that grows in South America, and it duplicates itself by sending off its shoots to generate sister plants. And so if the water is left undisturbed, the water hyacinth can basically cover the entire surface of a pond in 30 days.
Wow.
But it does so in really subtle ways. So for example, like day 1 is just one little small plant. Day 15, it may cover the size of 1 square foot. Day 20, it's about the size of a mattress. Wow. Day 29, it's about half the surface of open water. And on day 30 is what the most amazing piece is that it covers the entire pond. So in one day, it just, so, you know, my model was really about looking at how all those teeny little decisions that we make, all those little action steps that we make,
I see,
basically begin to grow your water hyacinth.
Yeah.
And to ripple that out into your world. You begin to ripple that out into your life. Yeah. And so it was more really based on that concept that, you know, we establish a focus, we discover the possibilities, we brainstorm. Of course, you're going to have that sort of place of magnetic and creative tension that happens when your bull, you know, your bologna shows up.
Your bologna.
Your bologna. And so then there's that inspired action that can happen. And then, of course, definitely looking at the old beliefs that you had and beginning to flip those, you know, flip them good and create those new beliefs and then review, see how it worked out, what new steps do we have to take. So it kind of grows and grows and grows and grows and grows. So that's really where I went with my coaching model. It really had nothing to do with my background in somatics at all. I was just inspired by the beauty of a flower and the fact that it could duplicate itself, and fill an entire pond, you know, be half the pond by day 29, the entire pond by day 30, it's to me is something that is very, very, it's hard to wrap your brain around, but I think when we work with our clients, that's what happens in coaching. You know, you've got all these little things that you're doing, you know, all of a sudden it's like, holy crap, look at all the stuff that's coming at me. Look at how I've magnetized, how you know, how I've drawn in all these opportunities, people, situations, circumstances, and all of a sudden, one day there was nothing. The next day, all this stuff shows up. So
it's remarkable. It's just remarkable, and I love your image because even though it may not be the body, it's a living thing just as we are. And I think baby steps or small shoots, either way, you're moving and the possibilities are endless. And the time frame with coaching, the other thing I like about that is I always say coaching helps you get there quicker, but not because you're in a race, but with less wear and tear and the more possibilities and creative opportunities. So that's a great image for that.
Yeah, I mean, there's the whole idea that if you're thinking about possibilities and you're looking at the belief systems that have at that point, until that point, gotten in the way, you know, and you're beginning to sort of knock those things down, then you create space for the universe to do the work that it's supposed to do in the first place. And so it does feel seamless. It is seamless. The universe wants to knock itself out to deliver your goods. They're waiting for you. And I know that sounds a little bit airy-fairy to a lot of people, but you know what? In coaching, it works. That works.
That's the proof. I mean, flip it over, right? So how about, final question for you, Joelle. I'm dying to know this. If there's one thing you would like to share with the world about coaching, what would it be? And tell us a little bit about who you coach. What
All
your
right.
niche is.
Okay, I'll do the niche first, and then the last question I'll do last. I tend to coach, I struggled with this. I'm still struggling with trying to get my niche really laser focused on this.
Mm-hmm.
I used to believe that if I wanted to coach all women, it's my thought. All right, my niche is women.
Okay.
I figured that's great, but that's every single woman. But they may not be a good fit for me. And what I've learned recently is that the more I streamline my idea of which avatar, which woman specifically am I talking to or talking about, then rather than cut people off, I'm actually, because I'm so laser focused, be able to open it up to more people to show up, more women to show up. So I'm still working on that piece. I know that I have that women who are in a transitional phase, which is basically every woman, would be too broad.
Yeah.
Right? But I'm looking for specifically women who, but I work with primarily women who are, have a dream that they've been too, and I hope I can say this, chicken shit to make happen.
Yeah.
And are really looking to partner up with somebody to ignite the courage they need to be the change they wish to see in the world.
Right.
So I'm looking for the chicken women who have a dream, right? So that's niche.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I like it. I mean, a brave heart is what I get from you. Because I know you've made your own transitions from teacher to coach, from living in different countries, speaking several languages, in relationships. You're really a remarkable example of that. So I am delighted to have you today. And I'm going to tell people right now, if you've got a dream sitting on the back burner and you're too chicken to put on the heat or turn it up high, dust yourself off and take another look at things. And Joelle, what's your website if people want to check out you?
It's at joellelydon.com. Very easy to reach me.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Joelle.
Thank you.